What is going on, guys, and welcome to Dota Chronicles. And today we're going to be talking about position 4 Invoker, one of my favorite supports of the meta. And I've transitioned my Invoker from the mid lane all the way to position 4. I feel like this is the best role in the current meta if he doesn't get changes or gets a buff to exort. I definitely feel like this is the hero to learn and pick up. If you're not an Invoker player, you should definitely pick it up in the support role, as it's less punishing than as a mid laner. I definitely feel like it's very, very strong. It has a lot of things going for it, and you can really push tempo with this hero, especially with the changes to earn, where if you die without an earn charge, you get an automatic free one, which was really good for Invoker to get in general. And any of the earn buyers, you definitely benefit a lot from getting the Spirit Vessel. And you can also get aura items like Guardian Greaves. You can also get a pipe. This hero is one of the most versatile heroes in terms of the build. You can practically build anything on it, and the tankier you are on support Invoker, the more you can do in the fights, the more spells you can cast, the more combos you can set up for your team to succeed. And practically every carry in the game benefits from alacrity, so it's very strong in that sense. You can push out lanes with Forged Spirits once you have enough levels, so obviously not in the early game, but in the mid game to the late game, you can shove out your lanes without committing too much. And you can always Ghost Walk if you feel in danger, and you have Tornado to set up kills, which is also very important. This hero pretty much has everything going for it. It is very XP reliant, so if you're going to be playing position 4 Invoker, you need to let your team know, especially your offlaner, you will be sucking their XP consistently, because without levels, this hero does absolutely nothing. You need levels on this hero. You need to get the wisdom runes every single time, and if you could steal the enemy one, even better, because it'll put you at a significant advantage over the enemy supports. My starting build recommendations are definitely going to be start with a Ring of Bassi, get yourself a stick, and then eventually turn it into a wand, because you're going to benefit so much from those stats and from the extra regen you can get from that. You're obviously going to get your Urn of Shadows, then you're going to turn it into a Spirit Vessel, then you can kind of get creative. And if you plan on getting Guardian Greaves, obviously get Mana Boots instead of getting the Tranquils. But if you're not going to be getting that item, you can get your Tranquil Boots and turn it into Boots of Bearing as well. Once you have your Tranquil Boots and you have a few points in Quas, it's very difficult to outtrade an Invoker, just because how much regen you have. You don't have the most right click damage out there, but it's definitely still very decent, and you can put in a lot of work. And once you get those earn charges going and get a couple points in exort, you basically become a core, because your damage is based on spells, not really items. Invoker's right click in general is pretty terrible. Even if you went for a right click build, it's still not great. And you benefit quite a bit from alacrity as well. If you're trying to trade with supports in the mid game, you definitely benefit a whole lot from those combos. There's a lot of things you can do and a lot of things you can set up. I haven't lost a single game on Quaswex Invoker playing it from the position 4, so it's definitely very strong. I've played over 10 games in a row, haven't lost a single one. Some games have been tougher than others, but it definitely doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. It's definitely not very dependent on the laning phase. Just play passive if you have a passive offlaner, but it is better if you're playing with heroes that can set up for Sunstrike, so for the late game. Also heroes that have a stun, so you can play it with a Snapfire, you can play it with a Centaur, you can also play with an Underlord with the Pit of Malice, and definitely very strong lanes in general. You just want an offlaner that is able to self-sustain himself and doesn't need a whole lot of levels. You're going to be doing quite well with this hero. Definitely let me know if you guys are Invoker players and if you guys are playing this in the position 4 role, as the changes to Exort are definitely not very good for him in the mid lane. I haven't seen any pros playing Invoker yet, at least in Pro League, so they're definitely not valuing it as much, and I'll definitely be seeing a lot more support Invokers. I'll be leaving the Exort video down below so you guys can check it out and see exactly why Exort Invoker is pretty dead. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this soft guide. It's definitely good if you guys want to start picking up Invoker, and if you guys are already Invoker main players, you can definitely play it in the support role and get a ton of MMR doing so. A like would be much appreciated. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.